You book a Las Vegas room for $129, but your final bill jumps past $190 before you have touched the minibar. Hidden resort fees averaging $40 to $55 per night, mandatory surcharges, and receipt traps turn deals into expensive surprises. Yet every dollar of this scam is 100% legal, built on fine print and psychological design that regulators are just now fighting nationwide. How exactly does Vegas make money off your confusion? And can you outsmart the system? Strip hotels in Las Vegas have mastered the art of hiding the true cost of a stay in plain sight, making the hidden charges easy to miss. The advertised nightly rate might promise a bargain: $129, $139, even $99 if you catch a flash sale, but that number is only the beginning. Resort fees, the signature add-on of Vegas lodging, are revealed just before you pay, not when you first spot the deal. According to a 2025 survey of Strip properties, the average resort fee now sits around $40 a night before tax. For many of the most recognizable names on Las Vegas Boulevard, Bellagio, Area, Cosmopolitan, and others, fees commonly run $45 to $55 per night before tax. Once taxes are factored in, the advertised price can balloon by $60 or more, turning a stay of 3 nights into a bill that is $180 higher than expected. The system is designed to make comparison shopping nearly impossible. Drip pricing means each hotel shows a low rate up front, then adds mandatory charges at the last second. The fine print might mention amenities like Wi-Fi or gym access, but declining them will not remove the fee. It is not just Vegas either. Hidden fee practices have become so widespread that the Federal Trade Commission finalized a rule requiring hotels to display the full price, including all mandatory fees, right on the booking page. Until that rule takes full effect, though, the math remains stacked against the traveler. There are ways to fight back. Always click through to the final booking screen and check the total, not just the nightly rate. Search for the phrase resort fee plus tax to see the real cost per night. Compare the total price for your entire stay, not just what is advertised. Consider staying off the Strip or at properties with lower or no resort fees. Downtown hotels often charge $20 to $30 a night or nothing at all. In some cases, politely asking at check-in for the fee to be removed has worked, though results vary. In Vegas, the best deal is the one you can actually see in black and white before you swipe your card. A Cosmopolitan guest orders $79 in room service and ends up with a receipt for $142.05. This is not a one-off mistake or a hidden camera prank. It is the business model. The bill that exploded across Reddit reads like a scavenger hunt for fees. There's a $10 room service upgrade, $16.02 in automatic gratuity, a $10 service charge, a 22% tip, tacked on for good measure, and $7.45 in tax. The subtotal doubles before the guest even lifts a fork. Each line item looks official, but together they create a fog of confusion. Is the gratuity the same as the tip? Does the service charge cover delivery? Or is it just another way to pad the total? The real trick is psychological. Most travelers tired from airports and check-ins scan the bottom line and sign. Vegas receipts are engineered for inattention, stacking charges in a way that feels like a puzzle you are too exhausted to solve. The lesson is simple. Never assume the first or even second total is the real one. Before paying, audit every line. Question duplicate charges. If you see both a service charge and an automatic gratuity, ask which is actually for the staff. Request a clear breakdown if anything looks off, and always check the math before you tip extra. The best defense against receipt traps is a slow, skeptical glance, because in Las Vegas, the bill is always more creative than the meal. Parking in Las Vegas looks simple at first glance, but the real rules are buried in fine print and shifting conditions. At MGM Resorts properties like Bellagio, Area, and MGM Grand, The system is engineered for confusion. Officially, self-parking for non-hotel guests runs $15 to $20 per day, while valet service jumps to $25 to $40. But that is only the baseline. On weekends or during big events, rates climb even higher, and the difference between paying nothing and paying $100 over a 3-day stay can come down to a single missed sign or a lapsed validation. The easiest choice at the pay station is often to pay. Hotel guests sometimes get a discount or a day or two of free self-parking, but only if they register their vehicle at check-in and keep track of their window. MGM rewards members at Pearl Tier or higher park for free, but everyone else faces a gauntlet of conditions. Nevada residents get 3 hours, locals must scan ID, and event surcharges can override everything. The property's official policy, posted on mgmresorts.com, lays out the daily rates, but the real trick is in the design. To avoid the trap, always check the parking policy before you arrive. Search the hotel name plus parking rates and screenshot the official table. Use validation windows strategically. If free parking runs out after 24 hours, plan to move your car or switch to valet before the cutoff. Park once and walk the strip to avoid extra charges from re-entering. For some trips, the Las Vegas monorail or a $10 rideshare can be cheaper and less stressful than a day in the garage. In Vegas, the parking meter is not just a machine, it is a test of how well you read the rules. Landing at Harry Reid International, most travelers expect a quick ride to the Strip. What they do not expect is a maze of pricing zones and hidden extras that can double the cost of a cab before the meter even starts. The Nevada Taxi Cab Authority sets official flat fares from the airport to every major Strip hotel, $20 to $27 depending on your zone, posted right at the curb. But that is just the baseline. Special events like New Year's Eve, EDC, or F1 can trigger surcharges of 25% to 50%, and these are not always announced until you are already rolling. A $22 ride on a normal day can jump to $33 or more during a big weekend, with the driver legally adding the extra if the Nevada Taxi Cab Authority has posted a bulletin. Credit card payments add another wrinkle. State rules cap card processing fees at 3% of the total fare, but that is still a few extra dollars on top of the ride and any event surcharges. The fare schedule, surcharges, and card fee rules are all published at taxi.nv.gov, but most visitors never check. The best defense is a curbside script. Before getting in, ask the driver, "What is the posted flat rate to my hotel? Any event surcharge today, and will there be a card fee?" Insist on the flat rate option, and never let the meter run if your zone has a fixed price. If you are comfortable, pay cash to skip the card fee, and if anything feels off, snap a photo of the cab number and the receipt. In Las Vegas, the meter is not the only thing running up the bill. The real cost is in the questions you do not ask. Buying tickets for a Las Vegas show looks simple until the final screen. A $75 base ticket for a headline residency at T-Mobile Arena seems like a deal, right up until the moment you are ready to pay. Suddenly, the total jumps to $97. There is a $10.50 service fee, a $7.50 facility charge, a $2 processing fee, and a mandatory seat selection add-on that is impossible to skip. The platform offers a skip-the-line upsell for another $15, dangling VIP status like a carrot on a stick. Each step feels like a small nudge, but the bill climbs by 30% before you even reach your credit card. This is not a glitch or a rogue website. It is the default for nearly every major ticketing platform in Las Vegas. Ticketmaster, AXS, and venue sites all stack fees at checkout, burying the real price until you are already invested. The psychology is textbook. After picking the date, the seats, and the extras, most buyers just click confirm without a second thought. By the time you see the real total, you are too far in to back out. The Federal Trade Commission has noticed. Their new rule, finalized in December 2024, targets this exact tactic, requiring that all mandatory fees be disclosed up front, not hidden behind a checkout wall. But until every venue complies, the best move is to price check the final total across different sellers. Sometimes the venue box office offers lower fees for buying in person. Screenshot every final total before you pay and steer clear of too good to be true resellers. In Las Vegas, the show often costs more than the sign says. The trick is to know the real price before the curtain goes up. A friendly voice on the strip offers free show tickets, a buffet, maybe even a complimentary stay. Just one catch, a short presentation about vacation ownership. The promise is always the same: 90 minutes, no obligation, and you walk away with your gift. But reporting from the Nevada Independent shows complaints pile up about what happens next. Presentations sometimes stretch well past 2 hours, sometimes closer to 3. Multiple salespeople rotate in, each with a slightly sweeter deal, each more insistent that this is a once-in-a-lifetime offer. Some guests say they're shuffled from one consultant to another, or isolated in back rooms until they agree to something, anything, to finally escape with their prize. The Federal Trade Commission warns that these timeshare and vacation club pitches are legal as long as the company delivers the promised gift and discloses the presentation. But many consumers report feeling trapped by shifting terms or pressured to sign on the spot. The sales script often includes verbal promises that don't appear in the paperwork or claims that you can cancel anytime. Those promises rarely hold up. The real risk isn't just wasted time. It's walking out with a contract you never meant to sign or a credit card charge you didn't expect. There are ways to protect yourself. Set a hard timer, 90 minutes, then leave. No matter what is happening, never sign anything the same day. Bring only a low-limit card or just cash to avoid surprise charges. If the terms change mid-pitch, walk out immediately. And remember that free gift is payment for your time. Treat it like a job, not a favor. In Vegas, the only thing truly free is your right to say no. Nevada draws a bright line between what is considered fair warning and what counts as deception. The State Consumer Protection Law, NRS 598-01923, spells it out in black and white. A business commits a deceptive trade practice if it fails to disclose any material fact before a contract is signed, as long as that fact is known to the seller and would matter to a reasonable buyer. The statute reads, failing to disclose before the execution of any contract or agreement for the sale or lease of goods or services, any material fact which is known to the person at the time of the sale or lease and which that person knows is material to the decision of the buyer or lessee to purchase or lease those goods or services. On paper, this sounds like a solid shield for the consumer. In reality, it leaves plenty of room for maneuver. If a hotel lists a resort fee somewhere in the booking process, even if it is buried in fine print or tucked away on a secondary screen, it is technically disclosed. The same logic applies to parking policies, ticketing surcharges, and timeshare obligations. As long as the information exists somewhere before you sign or pay, the legal box is checked. Whether a tired traveler actually sees it or whether the disclosure is clear enough to change their mind is a different matter entirely. This is the loophole that powers the Vegas fee machine. The law hinges on what counts as a material fact and whether it was truly hidden. If a fee is mentioned, but in a way that is hard to spot, most regulators see that as compliance, unless there is proof the business intentionally hid or misrepresented it. That is why so many charges feel sneaky but still pass legal muster. The system is not built on outright lies, it is built on technicalities and timing. For tourists, this means the burden often falls on them to spot the details before committing. The statute gives leverage only when a fee or rule is completely undisclosed, or when the business knows it is hiding something that would change your decision. Otherwise, The cycle continues, a flash of fine print, a quick checkbox, and a bill that is legally justified but practically invisible. In Las Vegas, the law draws the line, but the casinos are experts at dancing right up to it. The Federal Trade Commission's new rule on junk fees is not just a headline, it is a playbook for consumers who want to push back. Starting in 2025, hotels and ticket sellers must show the full price up front, including all mandatory fees. No more waiting until the last screen to see the real cost. The rule bans bait and switch pricing and targets the tricks that have made Vegas receipts infamous. But even before the rule is fully enforced, consumers have more power than they think. Every complaint filed with the Federal Trade Commission at ftc.gov/complaint adds weight to future investigations. When enough travelers report hidden charges or misleading booking screens, regulators have the ammunition they need to demand change. Not just in Nevada, but nationwide. The Federal Trade Commission has made clear complaint data drives enforcement. If you spot a charge that was not clearly disclosed before you hit book, document it. Save the receipt, take screenshots, and file a complaint. The more specific the evidence, the harder it is for companies to hide behind technicalities. Disputing a charge starts with the facts. Ask for a written breakdown of every fee and when it was disclosed. If the answer is vague or the timeline does not add up, reference the Federal Trade Commission junk fees rule in your complaint. Mentioning the rule signals that you are not just frustrated, you are informed. For Nevada-specific issues, the State Attorney General's office accepts consumer complaints about deceptive trade practices, and their case files often start with a single traveler's documentation. Documentation is leverage. A screenshot of a booking page with no mention of a resort fee, followed by a receipt that adds $50 per night, is the kind of evidence that gets attention. When companies know that consumers are watching and that regulators are collecting proof, the incentive to hide fees drops. The Federal Trade Commission's own press release spells it out. Consumers are entitled to know in advance the total cost of their hotel stays. The system in Las Vegas is designed to wear people down: tired travelers, long lines, complicated bills. But a few minutes spent filing a complaint or demanding a clear explanation can tip the balance. Every documented case is a step toward a Vegas where the price you see is the price you pay. Until then, the best defense is a skeptical eye, a screenshot button, and the willingness to speak up. Legal fine print and junk fees aren't just a Vegas problem, they are a national flashpoint. The Federal Trade Commission's new rules demand honest pricing, but enforcement takes time, and fee schemes keep evolving. Every swipe, click, or signature is a reminder. The law protects what it defines, not what feels fair. In this game, awareness, not luck, is your best defense. Share your Vegas stories or strategies below.